Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. This is part 3 of chords. Today we're going to learn about some cool chords. Now obviously playing chords statically has its use, and we've talked about inversions, how you can invert a chord. There's a lot of uses for that. Today we're going to talk about how much chords can change. So specifically we're going to talk about rolling chords, and then also adding what's called the eighth of the scale. Now there's all kinds of different chords. There's almost an unlimited number of variations that you can do with a chord. There's not just rolling. I teased at something called an arpeggio in one of my videos, where you bring that E and you bring it up, doing arpeggios and coming down, and back up. And that has a lot of use. And then of course there's chords that you see in blues routines. Of course, rolling up the scale, for example. I'll talk about that in my other videos, but today we're going to talk about just rolling the chord, okay? And I call them the cool chord because there's all kinds of cool things you can do with them. And they kind of cool or take off the edges of things whenever you're playing. Now today what I'm going to talk about is a song called "I Can't Help Falling in Love." Now, this song was made famous by Elvis Presley when he sang it. Now, if I play the chords for the song statically or just simply, it would sound like this. Right? You can hear that. Wise men say only fools rush in. But with something that you can do with it is you can roll a chord. Listen to how the sound changes when I roll a chord. Wise men say only fools rush in. But in the song itself, there's a signature sound to the chords themselves. There's a rolling of the chord that takes effect. Now what I like to do is roll what's called the eighth. It's the eighth of the scale. I'll talk about this more in other videos, but for example, in a C scale, it is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All the white notes, that's a C scale. The eighth of the scale is the C, because obviously you start counting with the first C. Not to be confused with what's called a C7 major, or major C7, which is the seventh, and not to be confused with C7. It can be confusing sometimes, but it doesn't have to be. So let me demonstrate how this song can sound if I actually roll the full chord and roll the eighth. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help You also hear this type of chord in another song called "What a Wonderful World." Now this song was made famous by Louis Armstrong, and you can hear the rolls in it. Sorry. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. That's another example. Now, for a lot of the viewers out there, you may not be able to see what I'm actually doing. So, for example, a C major chord right here, we talked about how to build that for a couple of videos ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 major chord. Adding the seventh, or rather the eighth of the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go back down. Going up and going down. Now you're not limited to rolling up and then rolling down. You could just roll up. There's all kinds of uses for that. You can change how you do it. An example of how you may want to just roll up and not roll back down is canon in C, for example. personally think that's a better sound. I think it sounds better than this. It does sound cool when you go up and go down, but I think the spirit of the song, I think sometimes less is more in music. But I don't know, that's up to you. Okay, that's my video today, just talking about the cool chords. I call these the cool chords because there's a lot of great uses for this. This roll up and roll down, or just roll up, or just rolling the chord itself. You can just go like this. You could do that. Something like this. In other videos, I can talk about more advanced chord uses. Well, thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to see any updates that I have. Thank you.